All right, today we have a new 12 volt 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery from YOLIQUE. Let's open it up. All right, so I got the tape all cut. This is a pretty unique box. It's got handles on the side. It feels like a high quality box. There we go, slid it off the top there. Yeah, the packaging is pretty unique. All right, we got our owner's manual, and then we've got some terminal bolts. All right, and there's the battery. It definitely seems like a different kind of build than what we're used to. Okay, so it's got post up here. That's interesting. It's got terminal post, and then it has a threading on the top for a bolt to go through if you want to mount it that way. All right, it says it has Bluetooth, so there should be an app that we can use to connect to this battery. Looks like we've got a on-off button, a vent. We've got some carrying handles here. All right, so let's get a weight on this guy. And we have come in at 26.8 pounds. Okay, so I pushed this little power button here. It's flashing green. Not exactly sure what that means, but let's check to see if we got voltage. And we do. It says 13.1 volts. All right, let's get this guy fully charged. All right, so we are charging. Looks like 24 amps. And our little light is showing red here. I guess that means it's charging. All right, so I'll just let it charge up and I'll be back. All right, guys, so the battery is fully charged, and I downloaded their app. So the app is showing that we're at 100% state of charge. The app seems to work fine. It does give you, individual cell voltage details, obviously your state of charge, your total current and power, your voltages. Now, one thing about the app is it's one of those apps that does require a login. So you have to create an account and you have to log in. And the other thing is it does require an internet connection. So if you don't have an internet connection, you won't be able to get this app to connect to your battery. So that's something that you need to consider. Okay, so we're set up to do a discharge test. And before we do that, there is some information that this company sent me. They say that they stop discharge right after 12 volts. So they don't discharge, like other batteries. Like other batteries will go down to like 10 volts. Now, that's probably not a bad thing, considering there's not a whole lot of power after 12 volts, right? And if you allow the battery to get down to like 10 volts, those cells are really in a state of pretty deep discharge, and they're still okay. But if you were to let that battery set and you didn't go and charge it up in some timely manner, that thing could just sit there and continue just to drain down over even a short period of time, really, and damage those cells to the point to where you can't charge it back up. So that may not be a bad idea to only allow it to discharge just below 12 volts. With that in mind, we may not get the full 100 amp hours. So if they're limiting the discharge to 12 volts, we might stop early. So definitely keep that in mind when we're doing our test. Oh, and before we do that, I was looking at the manual here, and it actually shows that this battery has heating. So this is a heated battery too. All right, so let's start the discharge test. Let's turn on the inverter. Uh-oh. looks like, okay, there was like, okay, so the app says, oh, it went away. It said that, I think it said short protection or something like that was triggered. It actually has a fault code there. So I guess starting this inverter pulled too much and it triggered the overcurrent protection on this thing. So I wonder if we can try this again. Well, let me hit it with a charger, see if we can get it out of the state. I think the charger, this happens sometimes. This charger actually tripped my breaker. I'll be right back.
One eternity later.
Okay, so I flipped my breaker, now the charger's on. This has done that before. I'm connected to kind of a pretty deeply shared, I guess, power run. There's other things in my kitchen that use this. So I have had this happen before. All right, looks like we've got the battery back online, I think. Let's disconnect here. All right, let's try this again. Let's turn on the inverter. Now, it triggered the battery again. Huh, interesting. Let me try a different inverter. All right, so I got this Bouger V inverter hooked up. Let's see if it'll work with this one. I guess first let's try to wake the battery back up. Okay, looks like the battery has woken. So we should take that off. Okay. Nope, not yet. Okay, let's try that again. Let's see. Huh, that didn't wake it up. So let's try this force start. There. Let's just try the button. Let's try to charge it again. All right, well, I can't get this battery to come back on and go into a discharge mode. Let's check the voltage. Yeah, it's showing like 5 or 4 volts or something like that. So I think I'm gonna disconnect it and just let it set for a bit. We'll come back and try again. All right, guys, so I got the battery working again. It's now allowing discharge. I'm not exactly sure what I did, but I was kind of doing a combination of messing around with the app and messing around with this button. And in the manual, it talks about activating it, and it says to tap the button once and then wait 5 seconds and tap it twice to activate it. So I did that a few times. And ultimately, it did come back on. So it's back on, all right? So now let's try this inverter and see if we can get it to turn on without tripping the battery. Here we go, let's try it. Okay, so we're good. The battery is still working, so we're at 13.6 volts. So let me go ahead and turn my air conditioner on as our load. Okay, air conditioner is running. We're currently pulling 35 amps, but I think it's going down. $27, $26. All right, so we're doing about 26 amps. We'll let that run and see how much of that 100% we get. I'll be back. All right, so we are down to 4% to go on this battery here, and we are still going. Now their app says 6%, and showing 24.5 amps. Well, now 22.6 amps. And their voltage reading on their app is 12.5. And I'm showing roughly 12.4 on my shunt. So we've got about 4.2 amp hours left to go. Okay, we're down to 2%. And I'm looking at the voltage here on the app, and it's showing 12.2. So if this is really set to shut down discharge after 12 volts, it should be coming up here pretty soon. Okay, yeah, we're seeing 12.1 now. This shunt is saying 1%. But it actually will go to 0 and still have some amp hours left in here. So right now we have 1.6 amp hours left. Okay, the app voltage is 12 on the dot. Okay, we're showing 11.9 on the app voltage. And we've got 99 amp hours so far that has been discharged. We're still going. I'm still showing 11.9 or 11.8 now on the voltage from the app. We got 0.57 amp hours left to go. So about a half an amp hour left. Oh, there we go. So yeah, it says it's triggered over discharge protection. So and I actually saw the voltage. It was 11.7 is when it triggered. So we got 99.5 amp hours out of the battery. All right, you guys, it's time to open this battery up. And lucky for us, looks like there's 4 screws. So there's a screw in each corner. Let's pull them out and see if we can't get this thing to open. All right, screws are removed. Let's might have to pry on it. Okay, so even though there are screws in it, I think there is like some glue or something, so I'm having to pry on it. Alright, I thought it was going to be just remove some screws and we'd be able to open the lid, and I was wrong. They're going to make me work for it. But I think I got a lot of the glue released, at least on this side, and I can see the case beginning to open right here. So I think I'm real close. Okay, I think we're there. There we go. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. It's got like it's got like flexible bus bars. So look at this, they've got, looks like they got 2 thermal sensors plugged in here, and each one goes to the positive and negative terminals. So that's pretty neat. Let's see if I can disconnect those. See, the negative terminal sensor went here, just for my reference when putting this back together. All right, so this is pretty nice quality on the inside. They've got this frame. There's a little metal. It's a metal frame where the BMS is mounted, and like I said, they got these flexible bus bars. And the wiring is very nice and tidy. They've got little clips that hold these. What are these? Is that going, maybe that goes to the heating element? But they've got everything nice and tidy. There's a fan here. That's interesting. I guess I have seen a BMS with a fan, but I don't see it very often. Yeah, it looks like maybe that is, okay. So that's the so this is, I think, where the negative part of the battery comes in and goes through these MOSFETs, and then that's a negative output to the terminal. So that fan must be there to cool those MOSFETs. Let's see if we can dig deeper into this. All right, so we got that BMS plate removed. And we do have the lid fully removed. I don't know what this plastic is, but it's pretty strong. When I was flexing it, I was prying on these little ears right here to get the glue to release. These were, I was worried that maybe it would crack it, but it did not. These are very strong. All right, now, and here is the actual cell pack. So this is in extruded aluminum end brackets. Yeah, both sides. Let's see if we can get these out. All right, guys, so I've got the cell pack out of the case. And let's take a look. So like I said earlier, it's got these aluminum extrusions on the sides, and has these bands that hold the whole pack together. And in the case, the bottom is where the heating pad is. So there's that. Now I don't know if I can see any. It's hard to see if there's anything between the cells. I can't really tell. It looks like there's something here. I don't know if you can see that. Is that glue? Oh, maybe glue or something sticky. Let's take this little plastic cover up and see what the tops look like. There we go. All right, because, well, we can't see any QR codes because we got these little plastic brackets up here. But we can see we got welded bus bars. We do have a relief hump between them. Okay, looks like we've got a temperature sensor here and one here. And then the balance wires and all that stuff are nicely tucked. You know, they're not messy or anything like that, so those are in good shape. Alright, so I just reversed that whole process and put her back together, and I think this is gonna wrap up the video. As always, let me know what you think about this battery down in the comments. You know I like to hear what you guys think. I'll leave links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.